What I see most people doing is just like frantically every week trying to pack, trying to do this. What if I forget this? What if I forget that? I very rarely ever leave anything important behind because over the last 5 or 6 years of traveling all the time, I just make sure that everything that I absolutely need is there. And I honestly can't remember the last time that I forgot something. Hello, my name's Neil Winteregg and I'm with Matterhorn Business Development. And I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about traveling, particularly for business, because that's the type of travel that I do pretty much every week. And kind of some tips and tricks that I've learned over the last 5-6 years of traveling just about every week, just to kind of make life easy for you. People ask a lot who aren't used to traveling, like, man, how can you do that so much? And honestly, if you figure out a system that works for you, traveling is actually very easy. And so I want to give you some advice and some things that I think might make your trips a little bit easier. First off, pick 1 or 2 of your favorite airlines and just ride those airlines. Every city is different in terms of which major airlines have a hub or a port that are there to make it easy to get to places. I'm here in Tampa. I pretty much fly 90% of my flights of an entire year on United and Delta. As a result, I have some premier statuses with both of those airlines. Don't pay for bags. Get free upgrades. On United, I pretty much always have an extra legroom seat. On Delta, I pretty much always have extra legroom seat. You don't pay extra for that. It's just part of what you get. So when you have a status, you will get free perks and things that really help you, just to kind of make things a little bit easier. There are some subsidiary airlines that you might fly on every now and then, but if you pick 1 or 2 airlines and you ride those airlines the most, any perceived benefit of getting a flight for $15 or $20 cheaper on this other airline really goes away when you have a status. Like I said, I get 2 free bags with Delta and United. That's for me and anybody on my reservation, whether they have a status with that airline or not. That saves our company probably $10,000 or $12,000 a year in bags. So pick an airline that works for you for whatever reason it is, and honestly, ride that out as much as you can. Get whatever benefits as you can. Because when you get a free first class upgrade on a 3, 4, 5, 6 hour long flight across country, it feels like $1 million, and it really does go a long way to make your trips a little bit easier. Next, the most important thing you need is the right suitcase. Bam! There it is. Magic of editing. So this is a big suitcase. I'm gonna tip it over here. This is a Briggs & Riley suitcase. Now, a Briggs & Riley suitcase is not cheap. It will set you back, I think, $400. This one might be $500 full price. I got this from my amazing grandma 2 years ago as a Christmas present. And when you have a fantastic suitcase like this, it is more than worth it. I travel with a group of guys who like to have a little bit of a cheaper suitcase, something you can just throw around and not worry about. And yeah, it's $100, it's $150. It might last you a year. It might last you 6 months. The cheaper it is, the worse off it is. So is buying a new suitcase every 6 months, a year, really worth it? I don't think so. This bag is 2 years old. It has a couple of minor flaws, but the great thing about the Briggs & Riley bag is a lifetime warranty. If anything ever goes wrong with it, they fix it for you. So at the end of this year, I'm gonna have a couple weeks off where I'm not traveling. I'm gonna send it in. There's a little screw or something that came loose here. The handle got bent just last week on a United flight to Chicago. So the handle is funky. Those are the only 2 flaws with this bag. So I'm gonna send it in to them. They will fix it for free. It'll basically look brand new. And for $500 to have a bag that you never really have to replace, I think that that's much better. Plus, this one has a lot of really good features for business that are gonna help you out. Now, there's another important thing. Everything in this bag right now never leaves my suitcase. Okay, so, and it's funny, when I actually knew I was doing this video, I realized how much stuff I had that never leaves, but it's all very important stuff. Okay, first off, business guys or ladies, this is my suit holder. I always have an extra pair of pants. Even if I'm just going for a day or 2 and you're thinking, I just need 1 pair of pants. You got a zipper malfunction, something rips. I always keep an extra pair of pants in here. This holds all of my suits. I've had up to, I think, 4 or 5 shirts and a couple pairs of pants in here, and everything stays pretty much wrinkle free. That's awesome. I also have a travel kit. This also never leaves my bag. When you travel a lot and you keep leaving deodorant, a toothbrush, a toothpaste, you forget to pack your hair gel after you pack, whatever, this stuff never leaves. I buy duplicates of everything. When I need to buy a new toothbrush, I buy 2 toothbrushes. When I need new toothpaste, I buy 2 things of toothpaste. When I buy deodorant, I buy 2 things of deodorant. And so everything in here is a duplicate of exactly what I use. And at first you go, well, that sounds like a lot. Well, when you're home 3 or 4 nights a week and gone 3 or 4 nights a week, you use everything split up. It makes a lot of sense. And you never ever forget anything because it's always in here. I also have this, which is for my ties, my watch or watches, and my collar stays. So I've got a little guy here. This is my watch from my last trip I was out. I had 2 different ties. I was wearing blue shirts last week, so I decided to have blue and gold ties. That's kind of my favorite combination there. I've got my collar stays. Never leaves my bag. Now, obviously, each time I pack, I put new ties in, but this is the little holder and carrier for it. Makes it a lot easier. Another thing, a sweater of some kind, a hoodie. This is a hoodie. This is an Oakley hoodie. This time of the year when I'm traveling, it's cold. So I always make sure that I have at least a hoodie. But when I know I'm traveling somewhere that is very cold, I throw in my actual winter jacket. But sometimes it's nice on some planes to be warm. So I bring that along with me. I always have a dress belt in here. This is because I once forgot my dress belt, so I had to buy another one. So what do you do with it? You leave it in your suitcase so that you never forget it again. An extra pair of jeans. Never know when you're gonna spill something on yourself on your flight. This pair of jeans has been in my bag for probably 1.5 years. I've never used them, but what does it matter to just have an extra pair of jeans in there? Now I move on to the most important stuff. This is my AeroPress. This is my coffee kit, okay? Hotel coffee, terrible. They charge you $4 or $5 for a cup of coffee, and you know that you're going to hate it. So what do? I grind my own Black Rifle Coffee Company beans in here. I bring my AeroPress out with me. I bring some paper towels for it. I make my coffee right in my room of my hotel. But when I started doing that, there was a problem. When you try to make hot water in a hotel room, anybody who drinks tea and you use the little coffee maker thing, A, it never gets quite hot enough, and B, there's coffee grounds in it. When you try to go down to the hotel Starbucks and get a cup of hot water from them, it's never hot enough to boil coffee or make tea. I have a travel kettle. This thing also never leaves. It's been in my suitcase for I think over 2 years. It will boil a cup of hot water in about 60 seconds. And you don't have to leave your room in your underwear to go get hot water from the Starbucks. So this was probably the best $15 I've ever spent on Amazon. I don't even think this one's on Amazon anymore, but it is dope. Get yourself a travel kettle. Again, this never leaves my bag. My AeroPress never leaves my bag. This stuff's always here. Now, I'm a public speaker, so I need to have some important things on hand. So first off, in here, 2 different kinds of cough drops. I switch them up. One day I'll want to have my natural soothing honey herb, and the next day I'll want my cool menthol. So I always have these in there. Another great thing, if you do public speaking, gins. Oh my gosh, these are amazing. So these are little ginger candies, all right? Somebody I was on the road with, I think a year or so ago, had these, and I was reading the bag because they're really good to eat, a little snack on the plane, get you some sugar, good for digestion. But it says on the back, put 2 of them in hot water, and I was like, that sounds really cool. So I put 2 in hot water, which I made with my trusty kettle, and stirred it up, and oh my gosh, it made the best ginger tea for speaking. So I start the day off with these. By the time I get around 11:30, maybe later in the afternoon, I have somebody brew me up some gin tea, and man, that helps your voice really go. So these are always in my bag. I have probably 30 of them just like lying around in here right now. They're always in here. I always grab an extra bag. I usually have too many of them. So I always bring this stuff out with me. And my beautiful Briggs & Riley bag has a perfect pouch. Sometimes, depending on the trip, I'll put protein bars, things like that in there. You know, if you're gonna travel all the time, you gotta bring things that like make you comfortable. So this seems like a lot of stuff that like I always bring, but honestly, I use all of this every weekend. And if I had to repack all of this every week, I would always lose or forget something, and then that ruins your whole trip. So these are essentials as far as packing goes, that you just never want to be without. buying a really good suitcase makes all the difference. Again, the way it rolls, the way it moves, the way it feels, how much it can carry. I've had this bag up to about 50 pounds. It actually does expand in the winter months when I need to bring a jacket, a big poofy jacket. This thing will expand and go taller. I try and not have to do that, but I can pretty much fit everything I need for a 4-day trip, plus a winter jacket and hat in here, plus my coffee, my tea, and everything else that I need. So that's the suitcase. Now there's one other very important part. All right, now the next most important thing, depending on how you travel, I do a lot of travel for business, but I am like a paid public speaker to go to certain places. The PowerPoints are already done, everything's already done. I don't have to work on anything on the flight usually. So I pack my carry-on bag more for entertainment and fun rather than for business. When you travel with my dad, he has like 2 carry-on bags loaded with an iPad, a computer, a tablet. Everything has its own purpose. I pack more for fun, but there are some more important things that you need to do in here. So get yourself a very good, just like the suitcase, find a very high quality backpack or whichever type of bag it is that you like to use. I like to have a backpack. It's big enough to hold everything I need, and everything has a perfect pouch. Now I've had this bag for about 4 years. I got this 4 years ago. This is an Oakley bag. Again, I'm not paid by anybody saying this stuff. This is just the crap I like to use. But when you get something quality, it lasts so much longer. This has been 4 years. This has been to Paris. This has been to Rome. This has been to Alaska. This goes to Canada. This goes on probably 40 weekends of travel or more per year for 4 years. And this thing is in excellent shape. I could easily get another 4 years out of it. And this stuff I'm about to show you also, just like the suitcase, none of this leaves the bag. It is always there. In the top here, I usually have my iPod and my headphones. So my headphones are a pair of J's, I forget what they're called, J's, Jays 2. These are specifically designed to not get like super duper tangled. They're pretty tangled right now because I literally just threw them in there this morning and that's my fault. But the way that they're made, the wires inside last. I just replaced these for I think 50 bucks. And the pair I had before this was 4 years of being inside this bag. So literally 4 years of rolled up like this, and I never had any sound distortion issues. So for $50, that's the best pair of headphones that I've actually found. And them and my iPod are always here for my trips. In this pocket, I have my sunglasses case because I have 4 eyes and I need sunglasses. This pouch over here has, maybe some hand sanitizer, a cleaning lens, couple of gins. If you saw the previous piece. In here, I usually have a protein bar, some vitamins, a couple dollars, some change, Burt's Bees. This time of year, I'm traveling to cold places. Gotta have my Burt's Bees. All right, put this on here. There we go. How do I look? Thank you. My wife has to use Burt's Bees everywhere she goes. She goes through separation anxiety if she leaves in the car and we're in a restaurant. Me, I only use this when I go to cold places, which is this time of the year. I've seen snow already this year, so I do have to bring my Burt's Bees out with me. The cameraman is not paid to cough.
Amateur mistake.
You're fired. You're dead to me.
I should be
Fired. So sorry for the interruption. So that was my Burt's Bees. That's like what I usually pack in here. This is actually quite spacious. You can put a lot of stuff in there, your passport, all your other stuff, whatever it is that you do. Now, the stuff inside is, again, stuff that never leaves my bag. Number one is typically a water bottle of some kind. You get tired of paying $3 and $4 or even $5 for a bottle of water at the airport. So anytime I can, I bring this with me and fill it up with some ice water. A lot of airports have little water stands for bottles like this. A lot, actually not as many as you think. So if they don't, I usually go to a coffee shop or a place and ask if I can get a cup of water. As much as I rag on Starbucks and other videos, I do go and get ice water from them because they give it to you for free and they will fill this up and they're happy to do that. I usually leave a tip for the staff that do it for me, but they don't charge you for that. Whereas some places, like this one place in Atlanta, try to charge me $1.50 for a cup of water. I told them I didn't need a cup, I just needed the water. They wouldn't fill it up. So those guys are jerks and we hate them. Another important thing, this is your bag of electronics goodies, okay? All your cords, everything you need. Again, this never leaves this bag. And what I have in here that are absolutely valuable, there's some things in here you can't live without. Number one, a battery pack. I cannot believe how many people go to the airport and sit on a floor in the middle of the aisle with their phone charged in and they're in like a dress and high heels. Like, come on, if you're doing business travel, this is the best $30 that you can spend. This is an Anker battery pack, A-N-K-E-R. They make the absolute best cords for travel and the absolute best batteries for travel. This thing here is a single charge, fast charge. I can charge my phone up, I think 3.5 times from completely dead with this thing, and it will fast charge. So get an Anker battery. This one's pretty slim. They do make them bigger. And but anything that is Anker as far as batteries go, I have probably 4 of all different sizes and variances. They all last forever. I just upgraded to this one last year because of the fast charge technology that my phone has. Get yourself an Anker battery pack. So that's always in here. Plus, I have an Anker IQ charger for a wall for hotels. Most hotels, newer hotels, literally have maybe 1 or 2 plugs in the room. It's really ridiculous. I don't know why. So I always bring a double charger out. I can charge 2 things at once in it. And just in case I rarely do need a 3rd thing charged, I have an extra. I always have a redundancy. So this one, if I lose it, I forget it, something happens, I have a backup always. And it doesn't really, having this together, it's totally worth it. Make sure you have plenty of charging cables. These are Anker cables. This is a USB-C cord. Again, always in my bag, specifically for my traveling, for charging my phone. I have a Kindle Fire in here, so I have a micro USB cord for that. That has its own little place in here. I have a spare, just why not, small USB-C cord. And because I do use an iPod to listen to music and things like that, I have an Apple cord. Even if I don't really use this all the time, I usually travel with somebody who forgets their iPod cords or chargers, so it's good to have a backup. Another important backup, underrated extra pair of headphones. These are very cheap. They came for free with a phone I bought, 5 years ago. And every now and then, if you do have a problem with your main pair of headphones, it does break. You have this in a little pouch in here, and makes it a lot easier. And very interesting, about a month ago when my other Jay's headphones died on me, I was on a plane, a long flight, and if they had died, I would have had to use some cheap, nasty airplane headphones that don't work. So I recommend packing an extra set. This is from BagSmart. I got this on Amazon last year at Christmas. Really awesome. Another important thing is whatever entertainment you're gonna use. This is my Kindle Fire tablet. I've had this for a couple of years. It's got like 64 gigs of storage inside. It links to my Amazon. So Kindle books, Amazon TV shows. I've got Netflix on here. I always have multiple things downloaded. I always think, what if I got stuck in an airport for 10 hours and I needed to watch 10 hours extra worth of crap other than just my flight? I always have that much stuff on here just in case. And my other favorite thing that I can't live without is my travel pillow. Now, this one I've had for a while. The bag is falling apart. I'm gonna get a new one at Christmas. But this is, I think it's called Cabo, C-A-B-E-A-U. This is like a memory foam, yeah, Cabo. It actually rolls up into a ball. It goes inside the bag, and this is all the space that it takes up. But when you unroll it, you get an awesome, nice neck pillow. Now, I'm kind of weird. It says you're supposed to use it like this. I actually put it sideways. I don't know, it's more comfortable like this. And then when you're staring at your tablet, it's like this. So anyway, this thing, can't live without. I bought one of these like 4 or 5 years ago. I wore the heck out of it. I got this one like 2 years ago. I've worn the bag out on it. They're kind of expensive. I think they're like 40 bucks. Well worth it if you travel all the time. Most of those neck pillows at the airports that are like, buy one, get one free for $20 or whatever, have zero support, zero padding. And so if you're gonna travel a lot, having something like this that is actually really nice, again, do not look at the bag. I've used this thing so much that the bag's falling apart, but the pillow's still great. So these are like the things that if you're gonna travel all the time, they just make life that much easier. Make it easy on yourself. Bring little things that make traveling easier. Have nice stuff. Don't go cheap all the time. If you buy a cheap plastic suitcase, it will break. It will just shatter. If you buy nice quality stuff, it's never just going to one day show up completely destroyed. It would be a slower process. With the Briggs & O'Reilly bag, you can get it fixed. But it makes your life so much easier when you can move and travel and do stuff like this. You get into a routine. And what I see most people doing is just like frantically every week trying to pack, trying to do this. What if I forget this? What if I forget that? I very rarely ever leave anything important behind, because over the last 5 or 6 years of traveling all the time, I just make sure that everything that I absolutely need is there. And I honestly can't remember the last time that I forgot something. So this is what I recommend. If you're gonna travel a lot, invest in good stuff. Make sure that you enjoy it as much as you can by making life easier for yourself. Also, get TSA Precheck or Clear, these other systems. I have Precheck. The Clear entry pass might be available for you. It's not available in Tampa, so I haven't bought it. But TSA Precheck will save you tons of time, especially if you travel out of Dulles, JFK, LaGuardia, Newark, these big airports where the lines are an hour long. San Francisco, it's an hour to get through security, whereas the Precheck line is 5 minutes. So yes, it's $100. It will save you plenty of time and make life a heck of a lot easier for you. So these are Neil's awesome ultimate hacks of life of business travel. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully this was interesting to you. Hopefully this helps you. If you have a particular hack or trick that you'd like to leave down below, leave it there. Otherwise, give it a thumbs up. I'll see you next week.